Welcome back to Lariat TV News, y'all. This week, freedom rang throughout McLean Stadium as groups came together to never forget. I'm Caitlin Sides.
And I'm Katie Kemp. Before we show you how they honored the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, Baylor is reminding students of something critical.
Suicide claims the lives of around 1,000 college students per year. In light of these numbers, the Baylor Counseling Center and even students joined together in support of National Suicide Prevention Week. One Baylor student and former Miss United Teen World who lost her dad to suicide made it her mission to spread awareness and support students on campus. She shares her message with fellow students struggling with mental health.
You truly do deserve to be on this earth. Mental health doesn't steal our value, it steals our view of our value. So you're going through this dark tunnel and there's always a light at the end of it, I promise.
If you or someone you know are struggling with mental health, the Counseling Center offers in-person counseling sessions in addition to their crisis hotline, available after hours. If immediate help is needed, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Monday marked the 22nd anniversary of 9/11, and LTVN's Abby Ferguson shows you how one group on campus remembered those who were lost.
While the quietness of the early morning lingered over McLean, the inside of its walls heard the sound of hundreds of boots trekking up its steps. Monday morning, 22 years after the tragedy of 9/11, the stadium was filled with Baylor Army and Air Force ROTC, as well as other student volunteers, unifying to complete Baylor's first memorial stair run to honor the fallen. Many of the students were not even alive when 9/11 occurred, demonstrating the lasting impact of that deadly September morning and why honoring it over 2 decades later is still important to Americans.
Even though we weren't there to experience it, we can still see the effects of it on our country, and being able to remember it is the least that we can do. 2,200 steps later, students not only felt the physical effects, but also the emotional impact.
Especially to climb the number of stairs that first responders climbed, it felt very meaningful.
While many runners were born after 2001, military legacies understand the significance that 9/11 had on their parents and ultimately the country as a whole.
And I know personally my parents are Army, and they joined the Army because of 9/11. So we have a lot of students here that parents were in the service or that parents have fought overseas because of this event. So it hit a lot. I'm not from the States, but I can even say everywhere I've lived that 9/11 is a spoken event because it has affected this nation as a whole.
Students wore badges that named fallen first responders to honor their legacies as they completed the run, and Army ROTC carried weighted backpacks similar to first responders on the scene. Here in McLean Stadium, it was obvious that freedom still rings, and with each step they took, they remembered those who were lost 22 years ago today. For Lariat TV News, I'm Abby Ferguson.
This week, Fiji held its first fellowship night since the 90s, and many past and present Baylor students were in attendance, including Fiji actives and alumni. Claire Goodyear tells us more.
For the first time in decades, Fiji met this Thursday for a night of fellowship.
Fiji Fellowship was a thing back in the 80s and 90s for Fiji here at Baylor, and we're just now bringing it back.
It was all about fellowship with just Baylor community. Anyone's allowed to come. We bring out alumni speakers to come talk about their experience and their walks and all of it.
This event is held in the Bobo Spiritual Life Center and is partaken by many Fiji members, actives, and alumni.
I was at Fiji. We had this thing called Fiji Fellowship. The chaplains always did it, and it was great. I mean, we met every Thursday right here. It was a big part of my college life at that point, for sure.
Fiji's Night of Fellowship is a great way for Baylor students to grow in their faith with the support of Fiji alumni.
It's just a blessing to come together and learn more about Jesus from an alumni speaker.
Alumni guest speakers relate to college students in a way that helps the students through their Baylor journey.
By the time I was ready to start rushing and pledging, back in the Delta had become a place that people wanted to be a part of. There were some guys in there of great faith.
Fiji members believe that the resurgence of their fellowship nights will make an impact on those who attend.
I think people will leave this with more hope and hopefully learn more about Jesus Christ and all the things he can do through us.
I just want to be part of, and I want to convey what God has done in my life. Through Fiji, after Fiji, and then kind of full circle back around.
This fraternity's fellowship night encourages members to be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Like the Bible verse, iron sharpens iron. That's what this is all about. We're just trying to have, that element as a part of this fraternity, like it has been for years and years.
These gatherings will continue onward into the future as Fiji creates and continues their chapter's legacy. For Lariat TV News, I'm Claire Goodyear.
After working on Family Weekend for 9 months, Baylor Chamber of Commerce is excited to see the events come to life. Family Weekend is a long-standing tradition going back 63 years, and this is the first weekend for many freshmen that they have seen their parents since move-in. Many are excited for the events to come this weekend.
I'm just excited for parents to see like a slice of life here in Waco. It's just, there's so much to do here and so much to be a part of as a Baylor student, and I'm excited for parents to get just a piece of that.
To see the events planned for this weekend, visit familyweekend.baylor.edu to learn more.
There's a lot going on as Baylor finally opens its new front door.
And more barbecue coming up next.
Let there be light. Let there be roommates and teammates and strangers who become family. Let there be marching and cheering. Let there be challenging courses and time to share. Scholarship and championships. Let there be groundbreaking and soul-searching. Let there be laughter. Let there be joy. Let there be light.
If you're looking to get out of Waco for fall break, Baylor Recreation may have the trip for you. Registration for Baylor Outdoor Adventures annual fall break trips are now open. 3 trips are being offered, including rock climbing in the Wichita Mountains, backpacking Eagle Rock Loop, and whitewater kayaking in the San Marcos River.
We have lots of different options for our fall break trips. So we have some easier trips if you've never done anything with outdoor adventure before. So they're a little more relaxing. You'll actually feel like you had a fall break trip. And then we have some harder stuff for people that have done these types of things before. So they're more like the backpacking trips that we offer, where you're hiking the whole time and you're really pushing yourself and getting yourself outside your comfort zone. So I think there's something for everyone.
You can find more information about the trips at Baylor OA on Instagram. Student life on campus is always full of opportunities, and this daring activity challenges students to get active and brave new heights. At the Baylor Belay Clinic, students from all backgrounds in rock climbing are welcome to learn a variety of climbing techniques and safety skills that will teach them how to belay their friends.
The Belay Clinic is for anybody who is interested in climbing at the rock. Basically, it's just going to teach you how to actually belay, how to tie a climber into the rope itself. And then just kind of some safety checks and kind of some caveats to that stuff.
The belay clinics will be available to students 4:30 to 6:30 every weekday in the Slick.
Right outside the Baylor bubble, a high school barbecue team is making a name for themselves after going to nationals earlier this year. Caitlin Sides tells us more.
This past June, the La Vega Pirate Crew set out for nationals and came home with a winning dessert title. The barbecue team is a fairly new concept for this high school, and it's right around the corner from Baylor's campus.
It was amazing just seeing like 90, 80 teams all coming together to do the cooking, to celebrate this like Texas tradition, but now it's a United States tradition.
The team started out as just 10 students and now has over 50, and also has a girls team.
To be the teacher that created opportunities for my students, and that's why I love it here, because we have such a supportive administration that I could tell them like, hey, I want to start this, and they're like, run with it.
They start their game day mornings at 7 a.m. to provide concessions, and they hold mock competitions the day before the big day.
It's different in every region. It has different flavors, different profiles, but it has one thing in common: the ability to bring people together.
Carlos Gutierrez, the pit master of the group, says barbecue was once a dying art, but believes it is coming back.
And if I'm able to teach somebody how to barbecue and turn out good food, then I think I've done my job.
The team hopes to return to nationals and take home the top spot. For Lariat TV News, I'm Caitlin Sides.
You might have noticed a significant change in the weather this week. The city of Waco was bone dry this summer, with temperatures skyrocketing, consistently hitting triple digits. Locals say that it was too hot to even go outside. They didn't see rain for as long as 3 months. But this week, the city finally saw some rain, and students woke up to morning temperatures as low as 69 degrees.
It was really hot this summer. We had like no rain, so we couldn't really go outside and do anything outdoors, like the activities and everything, because it was just like you would sweat. all the time. We haven't had temperatures drop like this in a while, so it will be really easy to spend some time outdoors.
Baylor's new front door is officially open, and the ribbon cutting ceremony had no lack of fanfare. The $60 million Mark and Paula Hurd Welcome Center opened with speakers Toby Barnett, Bill Merce, and Baylor President Linda Livingstone. It has been open to visitors for just under a month, but the university has now made the newest corner of campus official. Before giving an inside look, Jason Cook, Vice President, told us the symbolism runs deep.
Every part of this building has some sort of touch and tie to Baylor, who we are as an institution, but also many of our traditions as well.
Baylor is excited to put a brand new face on campus, welcoming prospects, families, students, and alumni to come see the newest campus addition for themselves. Baylor didn't waste any time utilizing their new Welcome Center. The same day they cut the ribbon, they hosted Howdy at the Herd. Macy Krause gives you an inside look.
This evening, the new Welcome Center opens its doors to Howdy at the Herd. The event is free, welcoming all students. A special guest, best known for creating Microsoft, has graced Baylor with his presence today. We'll let you in on more.
Howdy at the Herd opened its doors with free beverages, food trucks, clothing and jewelry stands, a Ferris wheel, and a steer. It was located at the Welcome Center with a concert on the lawn that evening. Earlier that morning, Bill Gates attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony, and he was rumored to be at Howdy. Hosted as philanthropy to the Literacy Fund for the Pi Beta Phi Foundation in partnership with Baylor, from line dancing on the lawn to posing for Instagram, Howdy's made quite its way to popularity.
At least for Pi Phi, this event always just brings our chapter together, and with it being on such a larger scale, it's just so much more fun to bring the entire community.
The first event of the Welcome Center became a majority hit.
It's so awesome. It's definitely very unique to Texas, and it's Howdy. Woo!
To gather the majority of campus at the start of the school year made an opportunity for freshmen and seniors alike to get to know the Baylor community.
We went up, and when we got the view of all of Baylor campus, it was really nice.
It was magical, you could say.
I'm gonna go with the simple answer: all the food, all the selections.
That's like here with all of our friends. It's amazing.
Howdy could mark the first event of another Baylor tradition. For Lariat TV News, I'm Macy Krause.
Up next, Coach Dave Aranda is looking to notch his first win of the season.
And one group of athletes is sharpening their skills on the field and in their faith. We'll be right back.
We were born to run. There's a spark in your heart and a fire that's in your eyes. Full of hope 'cause you know everything's gonna be alright. Living our best life, taking it all in stride. The light will be a guide. We were born to run. We were born to run.
Baylor football is looking to get their first win of the season versus Long Island Saturday. This is the last non-conference matchup of the season and Baylor's first meeting with the Sharks. Sawyer Robertson is starting again this weekend after throwing for 218 yards and running for a score against Utah. Blake Shapen is out with an MCL injury, and it's questionable when he will return. Coming off of last week's loss versus Utah, the Bears are looking to display a more cohesive offense and defense.
Probably the first game, it was an offensive game, and then this game, it was a defensive game. And I feel like all we have to do is really put those together and execute and have a lot of energy. There's no limit to where we can go.
Kickoff is at 11 a.m. at McLean Stadium. There's a group on campus calling all student athletes, and their mission is to build community and grow faith. Hannon Joseph tells you who it is.
Being a student athlete is challenging, but Baylor student athletes are working together to create a safe space for their fellow peers through ministry.
FCA, known as Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is a nonprofit Christian sports organization that is present in campuses all across the United States.
Just truly a time of fellowship between athletes. We'll play a game, we'll do a welcome, have a prayer, and then just kind of either do a sermon or just do a worship night.
This organization provides community, a support system, and a biblical message for athletes every week, and emphasizes the importance of not putting your identity in your sport.
Your sport doesn't define you. Because if you come to FCA, you'll be able to think about what will you do if you're not running track? What will you do if you're injured?
Baylor FCA has taken a step further to reach the Waco community and also welcomes retired athletes or students that are interested about the Christian faith.
And it's just a place I can think, only about God and not my squad.
FCA meets every Monday night at 7:30 in the softball indoor facility. To find out more information, you can visit Baylor University Athletics at BaylorBears.com.
It's been just so life-giving and it's provided me with friends throughout my entire college experience. They never truly gave me a time to fail. It was more of here's the thing that's going to help you succeed and you need to get involved as soon as you can. And it's been so great and I've met some awesome people through it.
With Lariat TV News, I'm Hannah Joseph.
Baylor Tennis is hosting the 2024 and 2025 Single and Doubles National Championships. This is the Bears' second time hosting the event, with the first time being in 2015. Baylor has known since 2021 that they would be hosting the team championships in May of 2025, but after some changes to scheduling, is also going to be able to host the individual championships in November of 2024.
I think it's everything. We're trying to be, to continue to be one of the elite, if not the best program in the nation every single year. That's the commitment that our administration and our department university make for us. And in return, we need to make sure to do our part.
The tennis program says they are planning on working with different clubs and organizations on campus to publicize the matches to students. Baylor soccer fell 4-0 to number 16 ranked Texas Thursday night in their conference opener. The Longhorns, the reigning Big 12 champions, scored their first goal in the second half on a penalty kick, and the Bears never caught up as the Texas goals kept coming after that, scoring 3 goals in the last 13 minutes of the game. Head coach Michelle Leonard said that the team would have problems all season if the Bears can't respond with emotion. Baylor volleyball just took their 4th loss of the season at home against Washington State, a tough out-of-conference game. Giera Cottingham runs you through the Bear sets.
These ladies began a fierce Wednesday night game comfortably and consistently point leading. With a great 21-14 Baylor score, Washington State was either still feeling out Farrell or the Bears handed their heat too soon. Baylor won set 1 by a kill from Allie Check at 25-19. At set 2 start, Alexis Acosta aces serve 1, Washington State swings out, and the Bears are up 2-0. Kendall Stowers drives cross-court shots, but the ball adamantly returns. Washington point and kill. Setter Avery Carlson fed Stowers more, while Elise McGee and Manuela Bembe swung front row. All 3 of these lady hitters handled their business, but the opponent's blocks were brutal. Washington State scores next, ending set 2 at 25-23. The Lady Bears controlled serve-receive. However, Washington's tough swings made Baylor's defense to offense more readable.
If we weren't passing well enough, we kind of were a little predictable.
At a 25-18 set 3 loss, Baylor started set 4 with a comeback mindset. Coach McGuire made a front row change, rotating check out for pin hitter Riley Simpson. She made 4 kills, and the team stuck close to Washington State at a tied 10-10 score. Suddenly, the Bears became down 4. At 16-20, Stowers continues to slam the ball. The Bears are being tooled, and pressure is high. Having fought through countless rallies, set 4 ends at 21-25, Washington State. Regardless of the outcome, Baylor women's volleyball is loyal to their dedication of daily on and off the court improvement. At Farrell Center for Lariat TV News, I'm Giera Cottingham.
And volleyball continues its non-conference stretch Friday with another tough matchup against Ohio State. As always, the Lariat will keep you updated on all things Baylor athletics. Stick with us for the latest.
And as always, it's not just sports. For the best and most in-depth coverage of all things Baylor, stick with Lariat TV News.
We're glad you joined us today, and we'll be right back here again next week. Have a great week, Baylor, and as always, Sic 'em Bears.